A catastrophic debacle may potentially be setting up here inside the Bitcoin chart. And could a meltdown of roughly 30% to the downside potentially be looming here in the shadows? Let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. Today we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price and the action inside the chart right now. My friends, right now the bulls and the bears are split. I'm seeing the bears calling for sub $3,000 levels. Kirby, 1,200, 1,800. And then on the contrary, as absolutely crazy as it is, I've seen some bulls saying, Kirby, I saw a magical indicator that said Bitcoin is going up 5,000% to the upside. 5,000%, Stunad, that would put Bitcoin at almost $450,000, my friend. Which way seems more rational? Which seems more probable? That's what I want to discuss here today. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right. So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the one-day line chart for Bitcoin. Sheesh, if you can't already tell, I'm fired up. Because we are at a point right now, my friends, that reminds me a lot of this stagnation over here at 6,000 in the bear market before Bitcoin capitulated into the abyss. And if you guys have been subscribed to this channel since then, the veterans of this channel, shout out to all of the veterans who have been subscribed from all the way back in 2018 before this dump. You guys remember the Don Carbonaccio used to be criticized, ridiculed each and every day here. Kirby, yeah, idiot. Bitcoin's going up to the moon. We're never going to see these prices again. And the Don just kept shorting, muting the noise out of my ears, and then watched it drop into the abyss for an absolutely juicy profit. Okay? Right now, not that this has to drop like this again, but the sentiment feels similar, okay? We've seen a lot of the mainstream type of people, to put it politely, have left the space, right? That's evident by the Google Trends. I didn't pull Google Trends up, but you can look that up on your own time. We've seen a ton of interest in the space leave now. So basically everyone that we have in here are people that have been in for quite some time, in my opinion. We had that back here. We're seeing that again now, and we have two trains of thought. The bottom is in, and we're going to the moon, or we're going to see a catastrophic debacle. That's what happens around these levels, my friend, is because, I mean, there's no other choice for me. I mean, sure, maybe Bitcoin stops being volatile. Let me get this stuff out of here. Maybe Bitcoin stops being volatile and we just trend sideways for forever and a day. It's certainly possible. But if Bitcoin is going to remain a volatile asset, the thing is that we're preparing for an absolutely huge move here. So we are up upon this resistance right now. I have the line chart pulled up here today for just a different perspective. And I want you guys to see that right now we are right at the bottom of this parallel channel. Also, we are at the bottom of this triangular formation, right? You guys can see clearly we have a beautiful downward sloping resistance and right now a beautiful upward sloping support. We're right at the bottom of it. If this breaks, I mean, the structure would be broken. Doesn't mean that we have to dump, but per classical technical analysis theory, the probability for further downside action increases when this structure is broken to the downside. Let's get this crypto. Now say it doesn't break to the downside, right? Say that we find a bounce here. Watch out for this purple box here, okay? Roughly between 9,400 and 9,800. Lots of new local potential resistance built there. It also coincides here with the downward sloping trend line of this triangle. It's possible we get a bounce, and it's possible that that bounce fails and we dive into the abyss. Also, I want to show you here on this chart that, my friends, we also do here have a possible head and shoulders bearish reversal pattern that has already broke the neckline and right now is back testing and getting rejected at the neckline of support, possibly turning it into now the neckline of resistance. Let's get this crypto. Also, in and of itself, look at where Bitcoin is currently trading under right now. You guys see this purple box here. If we now zoom in, we broke this neckline. The neckline also happens to coincide with the white underbelly of this box, which Bitcoin is clearly getting some local rejection at right now. Sure, again, it could break up into there. It's just that right now we are seeing some possible bearish creation here, right? Bearish construction forming here. Also possibly, in my opinion, looking like it could wind up being a bear flag from this range, right? With a flagpole, something like that, with a measured move below the support, which could potentially look like a flagpole down into the mid to low $8,000 region. Let's get this crypto. Just pointing this out, we also, my friends, right now have the fractals in case you guys haven't been watching. I mean, I know many of you probably haven't even been looking at the price. It's just moved sideways now, right? The price has moved sideways for so long, and that's why people go crazy, because for some reason, people are straight addicted to Bitcoin, as if there's nothing else that exists in the world. And even when Bitcoin is doing nothing, all they want to do is stare at the Bitcoin chart. Talk about things like 5,000%. We're going to get into that. Sheesh, we're going to get into that. But before we do, let's just look at the line chart, logarithmic scale. This fractal here, we had 3 touch points over here on a parabolic trend line. It broke, back tested, plunged into the abyss. 3 touch points over here, broke, back tested, plunged into the abyss. 3 touch points here, broke. We haven't got a back test, but you could say that this was, right? We did have a pump. Didn't hit the line, but I mean, this one over here didn't either. This one, I mean, it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect, but we have broken the trend line. Doesn't necessarily have to look exactly the same. History doesn't have to repeat, but it can possibly rhyme, or it doesn't rhyme at all. I'm just pointing out that this right now seems similar to what we've seen back here, and these both have led to heinous declines, okay? We are also at a macro resistance point. Also now, if we go to the monthly time frame here, monthly line chart, I just want you guys to see where last month's candle closed. I was pointing it out if you are subscribed here. And if you're not already, my friends, I hope that you understand by hearing my voice right now, this is one of the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channels you're ever going to find. So please hit that thumbs up button and also hit the subscribe, tick the little bell and select all. Welcome to the channel, my friends. I mean, right now I'm trying to mute out the noise. The emotions run high when Bitcoin does nothing. So right now, you know, I'm going to explain this in depth. I just want to get through the charts first, okay? Look at the monthly here. Look at where last month's candle closed, my friends. You just cannot make this stuff up. It's insane. So for me here, you guys can see that a bunch of this bearish to neutral action has occurred all throughout here. And that's where Bitcoin has spent the majority of the last 3 years, is all within this range. Only twice have we briefly broken up into that green region up there, and we've just seen a blow off top both times. In order for me to really get behind the statement that a bull market is here, we're going to the moon, because there is going to be a time on this channel where I troll the bears, right? You have to understand this, right? I'm not just a bear all the time. Sure, maybe you only know me as a bear because I've been bearish in a 3-year bear market, stunad. Maybe that's why, because you've only been here for 2 years or whatever the time frame is, and that's what we've been in, is a bear market, so I've had a macro bearish bias, because that makes sense, right, little James? Sheesh. But if this does flip into what I perceive to be a macro bull market, then the trolling switches to the bears, right? You guys see this, right? I just like to make things light, easy, fun when looking at these charts, because these things drive people insane. You wouldn't believe the amount of toxic individuals in this space, my friends. And that's not any way to be. You need to control your emotions. You need to, take everybody's analysis with a grain of salt, right? And formulate your own opinions from it. All I can do is show you the charts, tell you what I think, and then you formulate your own opinions. And I'm going to formulate my own opinion now on people saying things like, I've been getting comments all about these mining hash ribbons, this on-chain analysis, Kirby. Yes, it is valid to a point, but I've seen people asking me about Bitcoin going to $300,000 or $400,000 by 2021, $100,000 by the end of 2020. To me, my friends, this has gotten to the point where I don't really even like to ever talk about this stuff. But for some reason this week, it's getting very prevalent in terms of how many people are talking about this. And I think that the big takeaway here, my friends, is that you want to learn to basically understand that a lot of stuff that you'll see online is just for sensational headlines to get clicks, right? And there's nothing wrong with clicks. We all want to grow our channels, our social media, all of it, right? Everybody does. And it doesn't mean that the information being presented is wrong, right? It's just that you have to also be realistic, right? In order for Bitcoin to go up 5,000% based upon some hash ribbon indicator, that's much more likely, my friends, when Bitcoin's market cap is worth next to nothing, okay? And we're seeing things flash down in this range, right? Indicators go off down here. When the Bitcoin market cap is next to nothing, just a few $1 million of investment can push this thing up 1,000%. My friends, now, realistically, right back here, a few million going into the market could push this thing up, okay? Now, a few million in doesn't even move the price. Times have really changed, so you have to understand that there is a point where math has to come in here. And then sure, I know on the counter end, Kirby, you just don't understand the inflation, and this is now the digital gold, and the fiat system is collapsing. Sure, my friend, I get it. In a fantasy, utopian, fantasy, I get it, my friend. I truly do. And I get it. I'll just leave it at that. But you have to understand that if that fantasy, fiat, utopian dream does not come true, in terms of Bitcoin just being an asset here, really, you think that an asset priced at $9,000 plus right now, with a market cap of over $100 billion USD, much more than many top companies. My friend, you have to understand that there is a point where things start to seem unrealistic, okay? And right now, talking about things going up 5,000% from the current price point in a $100 billion plus market cap asset, to me, is quite ludicrous. If you agree with that, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're going to be little James at the water cooler that gives the video a thumbs down now, Kirby, my Bitcoin, I got $100 of Bitcoin, I just want to go to the moon, hey, yo. You better leave a comment and tell me exactly why you think Bitcoin can actually go up 5,000% from here in any small amount of time. Sure, if the world hyperinflates, I get it, but it's not really worth that price. You guys get it, right? Inflation is one thing. I just want it to be clear, my friends, that there is a lot of stuff in this space that is sensational and is borderline clickbait, although there is some validity. But talking about things that went 5,000% when Bitcoin was worth pennies and dollars, compared to now Bitcoin is over $100 billion market cap and worth over $9,000, doing the exact same thing, it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous in my opinion. Doesn't mean that it can't come true. I mean, if it comes true, I will look back at this video and have a nice chuckle to myself, but it is what it is. Now, let's get back to this, okay? So I've shown you guys the head and shoulders. I showed you guys that we are at the bottom of this here, right? Basically, watch for a break of this. I mean, there's not much more to say. The price hasn't really been moving. I just wanted to give you guys a heart-to-heart on what I feel right now. And to be quite honest, if this line breaks, I'm much more bearish than bullish. And my target zone, roughly, my friends, for the non-clickbait title, Kirby, why'd you say a meltdown? Because it would be a meltdown, Stunod, right? We have right here this green box of old, if this wants to load, I don't know why this isn't loading. There we go. This old area here of macro support that could act as support once again, doesn't have to. For me, I think that the bulls will likely step in at this point, that there's a higher probability for the bulls to step in somewhere in this region. And we could see here, we have the honey hole of Don Carbonaccio right here between the 0.5 and the 0.618 golden fib, all within this range. Let's actually take a look here on the regular scale too. I was just on the log, but what I like about this also is that the logarithmic honey hole of the Don is in this range, and on the regular scale, it is as well. And actually, this one here on the regular, the 0.5 is right at the top of the box, which I really like as well. The 0.6 smack dab in the middle, which I like also. It is what it is, my friends. Let's invert the scale. I just want to give you guys a rundown here. These videos right now, they're not regular format for me because the price really isn't moving. I just want to give you guys as much knowledge and sentiments from my end as I can. If we look at this chart upside down, right, clearly looks like we're in a continued uptrend, right? And we seemingly have found support along this line. And it seems like the quote-unquote buyers have stepped back in at this range and could be ready for a retest up into this green box. Does that not look true? Again, please leave a thumbs up if you see what I'm talking about, my friends. For me, that's the realistic outlook. Now, sure, it could break down. And if we broke this box, right, we would say, wow, the sellers... again, please keep in mind, this is the opposite view, right? We would say at this point, the sellers have come in. Wow, this looks like a giant bear flag. We've broken above 10,500, and now we could be poised for a further sell-off, which in reality, if we flip it back to the real level, would be up, right? That's all. I mean, I just don't see how this is so blasphemous to look at. I mean, for whatever reason, people on YouTube just want to see bullish, bullish, bullish. They don't really want to hear anything bearish. I just don't get it. People want to live in a fantasy world where there's only one direction on Bitcoin. It's just not true. For the past 3 years, we've been in a downtrend. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, I just don't see how, for the past 3 years, you've been involved here and have only wanted to watch bullish things when we've spent the large majority. Look, let's actually put a rectangle around this, okay, my friends? Look at this. Let's put rectangles around all of the times in the last 3 years that Bitcoin has been bearish. My friends, do you see what's gone on here, right? Do you see this? Look at this. All of this action here in the purple box. This is the amount of time that Bitcoin has spent being bearish. Whereas we've only had these two small periods of time. And look at them. They're both a straight line up. Just a straight rocket up. Spending almost no time building any trend. Just a straight up. And then all of the rest of the macro action has been absolutely bearish. Yet people only, for some reason, want to hear bullish things. It's mind-blowing to me. It's very mind-blowing. Especially as a trader looking for trading opportunity. I mean, that's emotional garbage to me. It's emotional garbage. I'm just going to end this here. I think I've ranted enough here today. My friends, right now, I am speculating short on Bitcoin. I told you guys that. I am setting up for, to catch a potential decline into the abyss. If it rips up, well, oh well, I guess that the trade goes against me. I'm just going to take a small loss on my trade then if it goes against me. But right now I'm speculating short. I'm looking to potentially take some more shorts in this resistance region if Bitcoin does happen to test back up here and then look for a failure. I'm watching out for the break here of this line as well. If you want to see all of my trades in real time, my friends, I post all of that exclusively in VIP. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. If you want to see all of my entries, exits, trade setup ideas, strategies, all of it in exact real time, exactly where I look to potentially take my profits, etc., I post all of that for you in VIP. So I'll see you in VIP right now after this video, okay? One last time, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I so would appreciate it, my friends. It really helps the channel. And if you're brand new, wow, what a stream to, come onto for the first time. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. That will give you all of my notifications when I upload. And guys, maybe you should share this video in your chats and your socials. I don't know. I think it's worth it for others to hear. And again, it's nothing against these indicators or, people talking about these indicators. It's wildly entertaining to talk about things like that, right? I just don't really appreciate it because a lot of people then inquire about Kirby, but didn't you see we're going to go up 5,000%, as if it's truly like a guaranteed thing to happen now. There are no guarantees or certainties in trading, my friend. And the thing is that there's a lot of entertainment value behind those types of statements. Okay, so it is what it is. I do appreciate those types of analyses as well. I like the entertainment value myself, but I'm just pointing out a more realistic outlook here, in my opinion. Until we get above this level, I can't even the 10,500 level. I can't even start to fathom how I'm going to personally get in a bullish position. Doesn't mean I have to be right. I could be wrong. It could go right through there. It's not the point. The point is I don't have a bullish confirmation to get in a bullish position for myself at this time. And it certainly appears that we have several potential bearish confirmations with potentially more bearish confirmations looming in the shadows here right around the corner. So I'm going to continue to look to potentially crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. Like I said, if you want to see all of my trade setup ideas in absolute real time, my friends, I will keep you updated with that in VIP right now after this video. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.